There's another universe. Please make some noise. Give me
Stop eating eggs every single morning if that is the only thing you rely on for strength after 75. That may sound surprising, especially on a health-focused channel. Eggs can absolutely be part of a healthy breakfast. They offer quality protein and important nutrients. But here's what many older adults do not hear often enough. After 75, your body may not respond to protein as efficiently as it did years ago. You can still eat protein every day and notice that standing up feels harder, your legs feel less steady, or your grip is not what it used to be. That does not always mean you are doing something wrong. Sometimes it means your body needs more support around that protein, not just more protein by itself. As we get older, muscle maintenance becomes more complicated. Appetite changes, activity levels shift, digestion can slow down, recovery may take longer. On top of that, the body may become less responsive to the signals that usually help preserve muscle. That's why it can help to think beyond one food and look at combinations that work better together. In other words, eggs are not the problem. The real issue is relying on one food while ignoring the bigger picture. Protein matters, yes, but so do vitamin C, potassium, magnesium, antioxidants, healthy fats, and foods that make meals easier to enjoy consistently. That's where certain fruits can be surprisingly helpful. Some fruits can pair well with protein-rich foods and support hydration, circulation, recovery, digestion, and overall nutrient intake. They are not magic, they are not a replacement for movement or balanced meals, but they can be a smart addition, especially for adults over 75 who want to feel stronger, steadier, and more energized in daily life. In this video, I want to share 5 fruits that may support muscle maintenance and recovery as you age. We'll go from useful to especially valuable based on how practical they are and how well they fit into real life. And stay with me because number 2 is one of the most overlooked foods for older adults, and number 1 is simple, affordable, easy to keep at home, and much more helpful than most people realize. Before we begin, I would love to hear from you. How old are you right now? And do you feel stronger or weaker than you did 2 years ago? Share that in the comments. I always enjoy reading what you're experiencing because it helps make these conversations more real and more useful for everyone watching. Now, let's begin with fruit number 5. Number 5, jackfruit. Jackfruit is not the first fruit most people think about, and many have never tried it, but it can still be an interesting option, especially if you want more variety in your meals and you're trying to make food more satisfying without always turning to the same breakfast every day. Jackfruit is not a high-protein food in the same category as eggs, fish, Greek yogurt, or chicken. Let's be honest about that. But it can still support a muscle-friendly eating pattern because it adds fiber, potassium, vitamin C, and helpful plant compounds to the plate. And for many older adults, one of the biggest challenges is not just protein, it's eating enough overall, enjoying meals, and getting a wider range of nutrients throughout the week. Young jackfruit is especially popular as a savory food because of its texture. When cooked, it becomes tender and shredded, which makes it useful in warm meals. That can be helpful for older adults who want something soft, easy to chew, and different from the usual routine. Another thing I like about jackfruit is that it works well in meals where protein is already present. Think of it as a supporting food rather than the star. You can pair it with beans, yogurt-based sauces, fish, tofu, or eggs if you still enjoy eggs. That way, you're not replacing protein, you're building a more balanced plate around it. It also contains potassium, which plays an important role in muscle function and nerve signaling. If meals are too low in potassium-rich foods, some people notice more fatigue, less steadiness, or more cramping than usual. That's one reason variety matters so much after 75. The easiest way to use jackfruit is to buy the young canned version packed in water or brine. Drain it, rinse it, and cook it in a pan with a little olive oil, onion, garlic, and seasoning. It can go into soups, wraps, grain bowls, or soft stews. You can also use ripe jackfruit in smoothies if you enjoy sweeter flavors. The real strength of jackfruit is that it doesn't do everything by itself. It's that it helps you create more varied meals, and variety makes consistency easier. And consistency is one of the most important pieces of healthy aging. Now let's move to fruit number 4, because this one is much easier to find and offers even more practical value. Number 4, guava. Guava is one of those fruits that deserves far more attention than it gets. It's flavorful, easy to eat, and packed with nutrients that can support older adults who want to stay active and maintain strength. One of the biggest reasons guava stands out is its vitamin C content. In fact, guava is known for being especially rich in vitamin C, and that matters more than many people realize. Vitamin C helps support collagen formation, and collagen is important for the tissues that connect and support movement, including skin, joints, tendons, and other structures the body relies on every day. When people think about strength, they often think only about muscle, but movement is not just muscle. It's muscle working together with joints, connective tissue, nerves, hydration, and balance. That's why foods that support the whole system can be so helpful. Guava also provides fiber, which may help with digestion and appetite regulation. And for many older adults, digestion affects everything. If digestion feels off, meals become less enjoyable, appetite drops, and good habits become harder to maintain. So a fruit that supports digestion while also adding vitamins can quietly do a lot of good. Another reason guava is worth considering is that it pairs beautifully with protein-rich foods. You can eat it with yogurt, cottage cheese, kefir, or alongside breakfast. That kind of combination can make a simple meal feel fresher and more complete. If you can find ripe guava, you can simply wash it and eat it raw. Many people enjoy it sliced. Others prefer to scoop out the inside and mix it into oatmeal or yogurt. It also blends well into smoothies. I especially like guava as a pre-walk or pre-activity snack paired with something that contains protein. Not because it's a miracle food, but because it's light, refreshing, and easy on the stomach for many people. For some older adults, that makes it easier to move a little more comfortably later in the day. And that brings us to number 3. A fruit that is simple to store, easy to keep on hand, and especially convenient for people who don't want to cook much. Number 3, dried mulberries. Dried mulberries are not as well known as raisins or dates, but they can be a very practical addition to the kitchen. They are easy to store, naturally sweet, and simple to add to meals or snacks. What makes dried mulberries appealing for older adults is convenience. You don't need to wash, peel, slice, or prepare anything. You can keep them in a container and use a small amount at a time. That matters more than people think, because the easiest healthy foods are often the ones people actually keep eating. Dried mulberries contain fiber and naturally occurring plant compounds, and they can fit nicely into snacks built around protein and healthy fats. For example, a small handful of dried mulberries with plain yogurt, a few nuts, or some cottage cheese can turn into a simple snack that feels satisfying without being heavy. They are also useful for people who want something soft and easy to chew compared to harder snack foods. And when appetite is low, foods that are pleasant and easy to eat become even more valuable. One important point here is portion size. Because dried fruit is more concentrated, a small serving goes a long way. You don't need a big bowl. A modest portion is enough to add flavor and nutrients without overdoing the sugar load in one sitting. I like dried mulberries in oatmeal, stirred into unsweetened yogurt, or mixed into a homemade trail mix with walnuts or almonds. That kind of combination gives you texture, flavor, and a better balance than eating sweet foods alone. Again, this isn't about pretending one fruit can rebuild the body by itself. It's about making it easier to put together meals and snacks that support steady energy, better nutrition, and more consistency over time. Now we move to number 2, and this one is in a completely different category. It's richer, more satisfying, and one of the best foods to pair with protein after 75. Number 2, avocado.
Avocado is one of the most useful foods older adults can keep in the house, especially if the goal is to make meals more nourishing without making them more complicated. Unlike many fruits, avocado is rich in healthy fats. That matters because meals that contain some healthy fat often feel more satisfying and can help with the absorption of certain nutrients. They also make food more enjoyable, and that can be a very big deal when appetite is not as strong as it used to be. Avocado also contains potassium, fiber, and other beneficial nutrients, making it a strong supporting food for older adults who want to maintain daily function and steady energy. It's soft, versatile, and easy to eat, which makes it especially practical for people who want simple meals. One of the reasons I like avocados so much is that it works well with foods older adults already eat. You can put it next to eggs, spread it on whole grain toast, mash it into tuna, add it to soups, blend it into a smoothie, or serve it with beans or fish. It improves the meal without making cooking more difficult. And that's the point. Healthy eating after 75 shouldn't feel like a science project. It should feel doable. Another thing avocado does well is help meals feel more complete. A breakfast that only includes toast may not keep you satisfied for very long, but add some avocado and a protein.